Hey guys, this is just a follow-up on the Money Talk video that I posted yesterday. I got a lot of positive feedback on why things are going on, and some feedback that unfortunately was not meant to, be created. First off, about, I'm not trying to talk anything bad about my wife, about what happened. This is just what happened, and I was trying to simply find out why and understand why things were happening the way they were with the money situation. As I said, I was very embarrassed. I was very helpless when I could not help my wife out more financially because I had none. I had no more money. But I did get some positive feedback, and I even printed this out because this helps me understand why things are going on. And as I said, in the comments, I think it's a culture thing. It's a culture difference. As I said, I was raised where you share everything. You communicate. That's what marriage is. It's simply, 50-50. And that's, again, just how I was raised. But apparently in the Latino culture, or possibly in Mexico, maybe it's in other countries, this is apparently the norm where, women would, hide money, from the spouse. But I printed this comment out from Angie Hernandez. If you didn't read it, I'm going to, read it, for this video, because it helps me understand. After 16 years, I now understand why this was happening. I'm a Mexican woman raised in Texas. I can tell you that it's a culture thing. Most Mexican women are taught that we should be financially supported by the husband, and any income we get by our own means becomes mine, not ours. Even if she did trust you, she probably was told by her family that she needs to have money aside just in case. It's a really messed up idea, and it's wrong, but it's hard to get away from it, since your mother, grandmother, sister, aunt, cousin, basically every woman in the family will advise you to do so. It's wrong. It's a very machista idea if you look at it deeply. It's promoting that men should be the ones that bring in the money and women have to be home, and that the husband gets to spend whatever's left of the money after paying bills. So the woman has to hustle the money from the family's income to have her own expenses. Very stupid idea, but very deep into the roots of education in women. Okay, that again helps me, it enlightens me more into why this was happening. Because, like I said, behind the scenes, I'm not trying to create drama here. I'm not trying to promote, start anything. I love my wife very much. I love the family very much. Now, I'm not trying to cause any rifts. I'm simply trying to understand why for years this was going on. But we stayed together. We argued, but we stayed together. We worked through this despite, these money issues. Because again, divorces, I was raised by my parents. That's another thing. When you marry a woman, you better stick with her. Divorce. There's hardly any divorces on my side of the family. That was embedded by my parents as well. You better find the right woman. You better stick with her. And I did. Just through thick and thin, through these tough situations. Situations like this. Divorces happen mostly because of money. And I wasn't going to give up, and I didn't. It's tough for me still, but yeah, this helps me understand why this went on. As I said, I wish things were different. I wish this didn't happen. I wish I had money to help, to help her cancer treatment further. But as I said, in the end game, the end run, this took her in 6 months. And we found out early on that she may only have about that much time to live because of the severity of the cancer. So really, it probably the money would not have made much of a difference, but I simply wanted to know. I mean, this has been festering in me for years. I just did not understand why this was happening. And I understand it's a culture thing. I don't think it's a racist thing. I don't believe that at all. This is a culture difference. The American culture is not like this. You don't hoard money. You don't hide money from your spouse. You don't. It makes it look like something's going on behind the scenes. It's very difficult to trust somebody when that's happening, and that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to cause any risk with the family. That's the last thing I want. I love Yadi's family very much, and they accept me as part of the family. I still want to go back and visit, but I'm not trying to, cause any problems, with the family because of that video that I posted. I simply wanted feedback as to why this is going on, because now I have to deal with the repercussions of it. That's the honest to God truth. Because I was thinking, how am I going to, how do I post something without causing any problems? So I just kind of, just spoke what was on my mind, spoke from the heart. And sometimes I talk too much, and maybe I did in that video. I spilled a little too much drama behind the scenes, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm simply trying to get feedback. I'm trying to understand. That's the main thing. I want to understand why this was happening, and I do now. It's just unfortunate that I understand after her passing, and like I said, I'm noting this for future reference, that I still cared for her very deeply. I still care for the family very deeply, and I want to go back, and I want to see everybody again, and I don't want this to cause any issues with the family, because I just didn't understand. I couldn't understand. I couldn't get a clear explanation from her. I mean, it was just, I need money for this, I need money for that. Well, let's work together on this, but we never could. We never did. So that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to make a follow-up video. I appreciate the comments, the feedback, because it helped me a lot. And this is another thing. I have no one to talk to here. In Mexico, I had a lot of the family. All I have are my parents, and they can only put up with so much. I mean, they're very sad about losing their daughter-in-law. So, yeah, they can't, listen to a whole lot. So, this is how I vent. This is how I, this is how I get feedback. I just want to understand why this is going on. And I do now. It's just, you look back in hindsight and, what could we have done differently? And believe me, I wish we could have saved our money. Like I said, that building right there is my biggest, regret right now. I've made mistakes too, like I admitted. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all either. I made financial mistakes. I simply wish that we could have saved and we could have worked together, on the funds. So, yeah, just looking back in hindsight, I mean, I rewatched the video. Yeah, I did have some anger coming out in that, and I apologize for that. I'm not mad at, I'm trying not to be mad. I'm really just trying to, understand. So, but yeah, that comment, made me, it kind of gave me a lot of insight into the culture, the Latina culture. I say that the Latino, culture, because it's, again, something I was not aware of. I was not aware of that at all. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I guess, in hindsight, I'm learning from this. I mean, that's all I can really say. But this is part of my healing process. I'm making videos, and maybe I'm talking too much, and I apologize for that. I'm not trying to cause any drama with the family. That's the last thing I want. I want to keep in touch with them. I want to, go back and visit them. Like I said, I'm repeating myself. I'm like a broken record right now, because I simply wanted to understand why this is happening, and I do now. I mean, that comment enlightens me on on why. So, like I said, I'm going to do, future videos. I'm going to try to be more positive. I'm trying not to. I don't want to bring out any of the bad things. I mean, every married couple has their issues, and usually they're supposed to be kept private. And this was private for a long time, but now, maybe I shouldn't be making this public, but this has been festering in me for years. I wanted to understand why, because I just could not understand it. I could not understand it. And now I do. So, I apologize, but yeah, I'm simply just trying to get through this. So, bear with me. I appreciate the feedback. Keep the comments coming. Trolls are not welcome. Any troll comments, they're simply deleted and their channel blocked. That's how I handle trolls. So you won't see any troll comments on my videos. But yeah, this is just a tough situation for me that I'm still going through. It's still fresh in my mind, and this is just one of the main issues we had. Everything else, like you see in the videos, that was our life, and I was happy with it. I was, I'm going to miss that. Miss the good times. Miss the fun we had. We had a lot of fun together. It's just, money situation was just really causing some hardship for us, and very unfortunate, but what's done is done. So, as I said, I'm going to continue moving on, try my best to move on, and try to create some positive videos, some memorable videos. I'm still going to work on our wedding. I just haven't had time for that yet. I want to show you that, because that was amazing. So, anyway, thank you very much. I got more stuff to do, so I need to get started on it. So, again, thank you for the feedback, and until the next video, adios.